Hi everyone, thank you for joining me, Wendy Anderson, justbe.me. So I thought I would bring you with me on my little inner journeys from now on. So it's not just about light working, it's also about your shadow working. And believe me, I spent a long time trying to avoid the shadows. It's for the brave, it's for the courageous, but it's all part of this human journey. And the reason why I found the shadow work really difficult is because I was in an energy of judgment, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of the 3D programming, so it just is. There's nothing wrong with judgment as well, because you need an element of it to have some self-awareness. So judgment is a very masculine energy. Forgiveness is a female energy. So again, to balance out both female divine and masculine divine in the body, we need both elements of judgment and forgiveness. So whatever portal was opening, night before last, full moon last night, portal open night before, I felt that. So I see the portal as a portal of frequency, of emotions in frequency form. And we have the invitation to traverse through the portal. It's always invitation. We always have free will. But as we travel through the portal, all these emotions in frequency form are highlighted. What is it that you're feeling? And I found this morning because I was doing a little bit of self-awareness and evaluation of what emotions I was feeling in my body. I don't always feel them consciously, because it will be either I'm in judgment of it, or when I felt it before as a child or XYZ, it was just too painful to feel consciously. So I'm as an adult now trying to feel all these emotions and trying to find my way through them, courageously, bravely traveling, to then understand a little bit more about my inner programming, which is also connected to my DNA blueprint is part of my program. So once we begin to understand the programming, we can then reprogram free will, self-mastery. So therefore you become not the victim, but the self-master, the creator of a new blueprint. Fascinating, isn't it? So DNA as well. So we've been in third dimensionality, we have karma. So you get stuck in this tumble dryer of karma, doing the same thing, the same people, the same families, same belief system. So if you've got the same belief system, you'll turn up and behave in exactly the same way. We've been stuck in these cycles. So these cycles of self-abuse, we're kind of like now pressing the pause button, and it's kind of like, right, I'm getting out of the tumble dryer and I'm just going to sit here for a while while the spinning stops, so I can just do some self-evaluation. Okay, so if you are wanting to pull back from people at the moment or certain situations, then this is your intuition kicking in. Trust it. Whatever's coming up, your emotions, feelings right now, trust it. Don't dampen it, put it aside and think, I'm not a kind person if I feel this way or that. You may be feeling, I can't tolerate, say, other people that may not be doing this work, or I can't tolerate just different groups of people, or I can't tolerate being in that situation or in that location anymore. Trust it, honour it, there's a reason for it. And it may be kind of like you're feeling, no, I can't handle it and it's too overwhelming and I can't do it, because it's maybe pulling you in to do some self-reflection work, and you can only do the self-reflection work alone, by yourself. You know, other people are the distractions. So it's to take some time out for you right now to self-reflect, and the alone time is so valuable. So honour that. If you are feeling uncomfortable in certain people situations, take some time away, and take some time by yourself and just do some self-evaluation. Sometimes just to feel. Like yesterday, I felt angry, resentful. Like if anyone came anywhere within my energetic field and didn't have humility and respect, then you would feel it. You would feel it. You would feel my wrath. And even kind of like I noticed my husband, you know, this morning went, yeah, I thought you were kind of like processing something. He says, because I felt like I just needed to give you some space. But we had this conversation in the morning where, you know, my husband was saying, I don't know what's up with you today, and you know, and it's kind of like ordinarily I'm kind of like, you know, bright and fluffy and everything else, but that's because I've learned to put the mask on. I put the smile on, put the mask on in order to feel safe in the family that I was incarnated in, my beautiful family that I've learned loads from in a really hard way. So I've learned to turn up in an inauthentic way just to feel safe around certain members of the family. Because otherwise, if I turned up authentically myself and however it is I was feeling that day, I would be surely punished for it. So yesterday I was sat in whatever the emotions that I wanted to be sitting in, and allowing myself to feel it, and accepting myself for feeling it, forgiving myself for feeling it, loving myself for feeling it, and I kind of vocalised to my husband, I'm just in this right now and I'm feeling it for the first time, that I'm accepting whatever emotions are coming up and I'm honouring it. And if you can honour whatever it is that I am in right now, then that is you loving me conditionally. And that's exactly the lesson that, you know, I was in with my family, that I would only be loved if I was turning up a certain way. You know what? I want to experience unconditional love from now on. And I'm only going to allow those people that unconditionally love me, that allow me to turn up in whatever sense I am turning up in, then I will only allow those in my space. Anything other, then do what you wish. I've got enough love for myself right now. I don't need yours. I'm a grown up, so I can provide my own shelter. And I can provide all my own needs. So there's no reason why I should turn up a certain way anymore. And it felt so liberating yesterday. And the phone call only lasted a short amount of time because I was accepting it. It kind of passed through my body quicker, passed through everything quicker, but I still was feeling it, you know, pass through the body. I was feeling it at respiratory level, which was restrictions yesterday. I was feeling it at liver level, liver, gall and pancreas. But then during the day as it was passing through, I was feeling it at bladder level, feeling like I needed to clear my bladder. And our bladder is where we hold on to emotions. And I just needed kind of periodically to let go of whatever emotions that I was feeling in that morning. So it passed through me kind of like in a matter of hours, rather than ordinarily I would have probably held on to everything that I was feeling in fear of letting go of it or expressing it. And this is where arts are going to come in and become really, really valuable. So it's really valuable to the individual. But people observing the art could also, you know, you feel the energy from the art as well. If you are sensitive. So all of you out there at the moment that I'm talking to that are sensitives, sensitive to energy, sensitive to others' emotions, and you've learned to switch off your own, it's now to direct that sensitivity inwards. This is why you don't want to be around people right now, to direct it inwards so you can feel whatever it is that you feel without judgment of another person. But it's also kind of like, where is it that I may be judging myself for feeling whatever it is that I'm feeling? If you can do that on your own, then you can be however it is that you need to be on your own. And if other people can't accept that who are around you, then they're not invited into your space. This also works with kind of spirit to open the door. It's your decision whether you open the door or not. But however that you have turned up, like I was turning up all angry and resentful and hatred and everything else yesterday, you know, emotions like horror were coming up in my body, shock. And I wasn't even aware that I was feeling those things. I'm wondered kind of like, is it something like, there were some stories on the radio, you know, about, you know, that somebody had done something, and it kind of like, it did shock me that, you know, a human being could get to that point. But then I've got to understand without judgment that human being was probably feeling that overwhelmed to behave in such a way. Sorry, I forgot to plug my microphone in. This is me turning up authentically. Hopefully you might be able to hear me better now. So the portal is learning how to turn up authentically, but it's feeling safer and freer to turn up authentically in whatever emotions and feelings that you are turning up in right now. So it's to give us some help, so it's to give us some freedom within that, to feel safe. If we don't feel safe, the root chakra comes up. The root chakra is connected to musculoskeletal system. It can come up in skin, it could come up in, like I've just said, bones, joints. So you're kind of like in your egoic guidance center if something is coming up in your body. If you're in your higher self guidance center, then you'll feel free because you've got no constraints of the human. But both human and divine are so precious things, and it's opening that gateway to the connection, to connect both, to connect heaven and earth. But it's doing it in a humble way and a respectful way, in kind of like, I've been disconnected and yeah, I'm sorry. But the Divine Father and the Divine Mother, the divine, is always in an energy of forgiveness, and if anything there's no need for forgiveness, because it knows that you are having a human journey, and on that human journey it kind of like, part of your soul contract was for you to immerse yourself in just being human for a while, to ground yourself into being human, and don't judge that. That's okay. But the human that connects back with the divine, it's kind of like, welcome back, child. It's kind of like you've been away for a while, but you know what? It's so good to see you. I'm not angry or resentful that you've been away. You have been missed. So it's kind of, so no matter how you are showing up right now in this life, you are so loved. Every single individual on this planet right now is so loved. No matter how you are turning up, just for turning up on this planet right now, you are loved. But that reconnection, you don't have to feel guilty about anything. That's what's coming up for me yesterday. Eyes, felt so gritty. When the eyes are coming up, it's uncried tears and shame, guilt. That also comes with worthiness. I'm a bad person. So sometimes we need to disconnect in order to reconnect in a different way, and that's okay. So through my journey in this morning, there were two animals coming up. So one was the magic of the white heron, who travels slowly through the waters as we do to navigate our emotions. So it's travelling slowly through our emotions. Allow your sensitivity to fulfill what you will allow and what you won't allow. So if you're sensitive and you've been maybe punished for it, ridiculed for it, oh, you're too sensitive to that is your gift. That is your superpower. Honour it, use it, because that will really switch on right now and serve you, because you can choose what you're allowing in, what you're rejecting out. Fear of rejection. Okay. So anyone that's had kind of like rejection in their lives, again, you may fear rejection. So that will be harder for you to say, no, I'm not dealing with you right now, or you can accept me for the way that I'm turning up. Once we start to heal rejection programs, it gets easier and easier to say, do you know what? I've got so much for love myself right now. And this is the whole point of being rejected, in order to turn up for yourself, and abandonment. Rejection is to accept myself in whatever way possible that I am showing up in. It'll get easier. Draw boundaries from a detached perspective. And again, trauma, if anyone has experienced trauma states as a child or even a grown-up in any way through your life, we sometimes experience trauma in order to experience the disconnection. So the disconnection sends you straight back to 0 point field, because it's kind of like, right, I am beyond the mind right now. This is too hard to handle. I am potentially maybe at the point of death or pain or whatever it is that you're going through in that particular trauma, and it's too much, it's too overwhelming. So your spirit, mind, whatever it is, takes over and you go to a 0 point field. 0 point field is where everything ends and everything begins, and it's a continuum. We can go there at any point if we need to heal something, or if things are becoming overwhelming. You can access this point at any time. I just say, please can I go to 0 point field, and I would see it as just a black sky with stars in, and off you go, to the nothingness, which is kind of like without judgment, without anything. It's just pure love, pure frequency, resonance of love. And we can all access this, every single one of us. So draw clear boundaries from a detached perspective. Don't blame others or situations as reason to remain stuck. To shield whilst we are in a process of self-discovery. So I know many of you out there have been hermiting. Don't feel guilty about hermiting. Don't feel guilty about cutting people off. I've had to do the same. I've got a carer role at the moment for my mum, and I have just literally had to say, I can't do this right now. Obviously she's still provided for. You can't, just abandon somebody in that way. She's still provided for, but I cannot do I cannot turn up in a way that I was turning up. And also, I've noticed kind of like certain people from Facebook have gone a little bit quiet as well. So I know that they are doing a lot of self-reflection right now, but it's not to judge the self-reflection. Whatever you've been feeling these past few months, and there's been some hard stuff coming up, can I accept it? Can I honour it? It's just part of this journey. But it's okay to shield yourself while you're on the self-discovery path. So this is doing the inner work. The shadow work is a self-reflection, and winter is a cycle that allows self-reflection, because you don't want to go out. You want to stay in by the fire and just snuggle up and just be in whatever it is that you're being in with a snuggly blanket around you. So winter is a really amazing time to do some emotional work, and just feel it. Get snuggled in and just do that. Just feel it. Allow your children to feel. That is the one biggest gift that as evolving parents right now that we can gift our children, is to allow them to feel whatever it is that they are feeling, accept whatever it is that they are feeling, because their sensitivities are their gift. But also at the same time, you do need to have some boundaries. So the boundary is no harm to self or others. That is a big boundary. And it is kind of like reinstating that, that will not be tolerated. So there is a boundary mark. You can express yourself as much as you like, but that is my boundary. That is the boundary. So there is that. So the animals that were coming up. So it was the magic of the white heron, to slowly navigate through the waters of emotion, which is beautiful because we're in the time of sorry, mind's gone blank. Aquarius, which is water, which is emotions, mind, beautiful phase to be in, just part of human evolution. Peacock was coming up, interestingly. So the peacock, he is very vain. It's all about the vanity. Look at me. So his message is, don't be fooled by material possessions. You are beautiful just as you are. So you don't need anything materialistic to actually, that's not your sense of worth. Your sense of worth is you are valuable just for being you. So you don't, so the possessions, so what? For humanity as well, though, we are going through, so it has been a sense of punishment to, if you don't do whatever it is that I need to do, in other words, I want some money from you to make me abundant and wealthy, and if you don't do that, I will take whatever you own or your abundance from you, and I will keep you in lack because I need to be on top of my abundance chain. So again, these systems, the hierarchical system, is going to break down. They've got to, because they're not 5D, they're third dimensional programs, so they will break down, and the hierarchical will probably be in council houses with the rest of us. So it's all going to break down. that grip is being slackened. So as human beings, however it is that you're turning up in this way to protect your assets and things like that, then that is all part of you being here as well. So that's beautiful. That's great. On your sovereignty. That will bring in confidence as well. So knowing that nobody has anything over you, again, kind of like that is so empowering. So those of you that are doing that role on this planet at the moment, I have so much respect for you, because you are treading some very hard waters there as well, and it's kind of like the courage that you are facing is just so beautiful. So a lot of love to you guys out there, not just guys, ladies as well. Lavender. So sometimes herbs will come up as well, and it's so I've just wanted to be around lavender today, so I kind of like put it in my herbal tea this morning. So I grow it in my garden, and collect it, and through winter I stick it in my tea if I ever need any. So I stuck it in my tea this morning, so obviously it's relevant. New beginnings lavender, which is interesting because I feel that was big energy in this portal as well, about new beginnings coming. So Tutankhamun's tomb, so a little fun fact, Tutankhamun's tomb was said to hold jars of lavender and blue lotus flowers. So again, new beginnings, transitions. So lavender has got an effect on the nervous system as a relaxer, an antiseptic, and it's also a natural antihistamine. So if you have a good quality essential oils, I'm sorry, but the labelling on some of these essential oils over the last, I've seen this come in about the last 5 years or so, there's a lot of BS around them. So when it says cannot be ingested internally, kinesiology, muscle test it, you trust your body, not what it says on a label. So that will tell you if it's a good quality oil, that if you need it, and it's okay for you to ingest it. So if you've got any kind of allergies, anything coming up, skin, anything like that, feeling fatigued even, then a couple of drops of lavender oil under your tongue can reset the histamines. So if something is angry, and again, this is connected to emotions, that there's some anger there, that you're not being loved the way that you need to be loved. There's something kind of like in the emotions as well, but lavender can help balance some of these emotions. Overcritical. So lavender is really good if you are being overcritical. So again, we're doing this shadow work every day. How is it that I'm feeling? Oh, I'm feeling hatred and anger. Oh, I'm feeling shock and as well as all the other emotions of joy and humility, peace, all of those things as well. So it's a whole full colour spectrum. But if we can allow these emotions to just pass through the body without judgment, and you can be critical, there's nothing wrong with being critical. It's when we're being overcritical and over analytic, it gets a little bit out of hand. We become out of a higher alignment when we become overcritical and over analytical. I've been in this energy for the past few months, overcritical and over analytical. I'll admit that. But it can also block your creative flow. And my creative flow has been feeling kind of like it's been blocked. So to unstick it, as well as with the use of lavender oil, you can also use music, art, poetry, dance, anything that nurtures the creativity, anything that helps you express yourself to weave manifestation in your life. So expression is your manifestation. So beautiful. So we manifest from our feelings and emotional state. So it is kind of critical that we are aware of what our emotional state is, super critical. But it's when we become overcritical and over analytic that it can bring that fatigue. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed my animals that I brought with you today. Hope you've enjoyed my herbs that I brought you with you today and how we can use them at the moment to help us navigate through the energies of this current portal that's coming up. And again, kind of like this will all align with astrology, which, you know, it's all connected, it's all linked as well. So those of you that can connect in with whatever I'm saying on an astrological level, get in touch with me, because, you know, that would be an awesome kind of like chat to have as well. So yeah, if lavender's coming in, it will very much be about the head right now. So sleep may be disrupted, addictions may be in there, allergies may come up bigger than brighter than ever. Sorry, but it's to get to, you know, it's coming up for a reason. Feel it, heal it, up now. Anything, if you are feeling overwhelmed at the moment with anything as well, sit, breathe, just be. Sit, breathe, just be. Go into nothingness, emptiness, space. And that will help just downgrade any anxieties or, you know, anything that might be stuck. Sit, just breathe, just be, or get into something creative. Like, this is why I love these videos. These aren't really for you. These are for me to get my creative juices going. But if anyone that is watching it and experiencing it and is finding it relatable, then that's just added value. It's just added value. But these are for me. So just to remind you how much you are loved. And just enjoy whatever, however you are showing up right now, because you are loved regardless. All right, my lovelies, take care, see you later, and we'll catch you next time, whenever that will be, when I will share with you some more animals, more plants, oils, whatever is coming up for me, I will share with you, and if it's relatable, great. If not, who cares? Oh, that's a new energy as well. It's kind of like you can take it or leave it, and I don't give a fudge. That is so liberating. As well, again, damage your reputation, because that will bring you freedom as well. All of it. So anyone that's critical of anything that I've got as well, great. Destroy my reputation. It's kind of like, I don't care. It's now freeing. So it's coming into a new way of being, which is freer, more accepting, more kind, more loving. To remember, that was something else that was coming up as well. Faith. Faith in the benevolence of a human. So not every human is malevolent, because the universe is the frequency of pure love, which is benevolence, and just kind of like whatever other creative spin we put in it is our creative spin. So the malevolence is our creation, through the perspective we are viewing things within. So it's, can I see the benevolence of every single human being that I'm interacting with right now? Can I see the love at the back of it? So hard to do. Yeah, right, I'll leave all that with you. Take care, enjoy your day, love you all, bye.